everyone, it's Kailei, and I'm back after I said I was going to be back, and before that I said I was going to be back, then I wasn't back, and now I'm back. For how long, I don't know, but I'm here. And I'm here to tell you a ridiculous story, and by clicking on this video, you know what this is about. This is a story about how I was bit by a squirrel, a wild squirrel.
Good, okay.
And this is the damage left by the squirrel. This happening inspired me to be here to talk to you, and I'm going to tell you the whole story and explain why. So I was on a work trip in New York, and while I was on that work trip in New York, my family, that's very spiritual, was like, hey, we should also go to Lilydale. While we're in New York, we're gonna be right near that same place. Lilydale is a spiritual community for the religion of spiritualism. And we decided to walk to the stump. The stump in Lilydale is literally just a giant tree stump, and you have to walk through this whole backwoods path. There's like a pet cemetery that you walk through, and there's different signs for trees as you go through that are like historic trees and important to the community and stuff. And at the end of this big whole path, there's pews and pews of chairs, and this whole walkway that leads up to just a giant tree stump. And the stump of Lilydale is where a lot of their classes happen, and a lot of teachers will speak there, and it's a really, really spiritual place. You stand up on that stump, or you stand near the stump, and it's just like a spiritual energy mecca. It's very strong. It brings you to tears when you're standing up on it. And so we decided we had to go visit it, because how could you not? It's just the coolest place. So we were walking down the wooded path, and as you can imagine, there's a lot of squirrels in this area because it's the woods. We walked past some big, huge old trees and signs and all sorts of cute stuff, and then we reached the stump, and we all walked up to the stump, and all of us in our group are going to take turns standing on the stump and saying a prayer and feeling the energy and everything. But before we can do that, we see a squirrel. Nothing significant about it, but it's really close to where we're standing. And squirrels are very skittish, and normally wouldn't just be chilling like that, but it's like 4 feet away from us, and it's in this little stance like it's afraid. It's like got its little legs out, and it's looking at us like, you know, oh, I'm gonna run away, I'm scared. And instead, it runs right up to my coworker, and it's standing at her feet. And we're all like, oh my God, don't move. We're gonna take a picture. Like, this is so funny. Squirrels don't just do this. This seems so strange. And so as we all grab our phones to take a picture thinking nothing of this, the squirrel jumps and clings onto her leg. And I like don't panic about stuff like that. So I'm just sort of like, oh my God, the squirrel is on you. But everyone else is losing it.
Oh my God, don't move. Are you okay? We're gonna get it. We don't know what to do.
I approach her and I'm trying to slowly guide it away. I didn't want to hit it, so I'm slowly like, okay, it's time to go, squirrel. You can't be here doing this anymore. It jumps off of her and onto one of the pews at the stump. And one of our other coworkers is there, and he's on his phone, and he's just standing there, like he's, you know, he's like do, and we're like,
oh my God, the squirrel is going to you.
And as soon as he like looks up, the squirrel's at the end of the bench, and it's looking at him, and he's like, oh, and we're like, you better back away. The squirrel is gonna get you. And so he's slowly backing away, like, okay, it's okay. And the squirrel is over here sizing him up. When we think he's safe, the squirrel leaps feet away, running all around him, like up on his shoulders, it's up on his head, it goes back down, it's on his legs, and he's very calm. He's just standing there like this, like, okay, the squirrel needs to go now.
He's gonna jump, he's gonna jump. Just stay calm, Mitch, we'll get him off you. He must be a baby. Okay, okay, he's on his head.
Everyone was just sort of like, okay, back away, something's wrong. This is not normal. The squirrel, I mean, it was fearless, but it wasn't like foaming at the mouth. It wasn't dizzy. It didn't have any really symptoms of rabies, but it was just so bizarre. And so we all back away. The squirrel jumps off of him. It comes over to me and it jumps up on my leg. And I'm like, this is okay. It's just gonna do its little rounds. It goes up into my pockets. It's pulling stuff out of my pockets. It comes up onto my shoulder. It's back in my hair. And I'm just like, it's gonna get stuck in my hair. It's gonna get stuck in my hair. Oh my God, it's gonna get stuck in my hair. But it doesn't, thank God. That would have been so bad. But it doesn't. So it runs down my body to my legs and it gets off of me. We're like, okay, we're in the pool. I start to step away. It jumps on me again and it goes up my body again. And we're all like, what's it doing? What's it doing? What's it doing? And my mom's losing it and just like,
No. No, Kailei, are you okay? I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah. Oh no, I don't know. Whoa, oh, it's pull out your sunglasses. Oh. Hi. Oh my God, it's gonna get stuck in my hair.
and I'm like, it's okay, it's all good, it's cute. I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, it's cute, okay, this is okay. And so I'm like, how do I get it off now? It's not getting off of me. They're like, oh, walk to the bench and put your hands out. I'm like, okay. So I walk over to the bench and I put my arm out and the squirrel goes down my arm. And it's here, and it's fiddling on my wrist with my Velcro of my jacket.
Oh my God. So cool. Okay, he needs to get down off of you, honey. I know, I don't know how to get him off now. Walk over to the thing. Walk over to the thing. Oh, Jesus, did he bite you?
And it gets to my hand, and it takes a huge bite into my hand. And then it jumps away. And my mom's like, did it hurt you? And I'm like, nope. And I'm like, yeah, this is all good and fine. And then I look down at my hand and my hand is bleeding. And then I'm like, oh, the squirrel got me pretty good, right? And then I'm sort of in a panic, like it drew blood. Maybe I need to go to the hospital. Maybe I need to see a doctor. This isn't cool. And all of a sudden, you know, everyone's sort of like, oh no. That wasn't just a cute run-in with the squirrel. That was really bad and really dangerous. And now what are we gonna do? And you know, my stepdad's like, it's okay. And we're Googling all these facts about rabies, like can squirrels carry rabies? Like what to do if you're bit by a squirrel? And then it just sort of hits my mom, who's a psychic medium and a very spiritual person, to sort of be like, wait a minute. We're in the most spiritual place in the country, basically, where our religion is born and lives, right? And we're at the spiritual energy mecca in the whole, like, the hub of energy in this whole place. Like, we're there. And this happens there. And she's like, it has to be a sign from spirit. Because that's what we all think. And I know, like, you can think that we're crazy, that's fine. But that's what we all think it is. And I'm like, you're right. It bit me. It didn't bite anybody else. It bit me, right? I Google what the spiritual symbol of a squirrel is. And it reads, when the squirrel spirit animal appears to you, this is a sign to take life a little less seriously. The squirrel symbolism encourages you to inject more fun and laughter into your life and to just enjoy the wonders of your world. Just surrendering, losing control, and letting life happen for you. And I just laughed. Like, I just really started to laugh. And I read it to my mom and she started to laugh. And we both just felt the sense of like, you really need to start taking life a little less seriously, and you seriously need to let go of some control in your life and just enjoy what's going on around you, because not only did the squirrel appear to you, but the squirrel bit you. So that means something really important. And just to give you all some backstory so you understand why this was so powerful and meaningful to me. Hi, I'm Kailei, and I'm a workaholic. I work around 80 hours a week. I have 3 to 4 different jobs. Depending on what mood I'm in, I'll take on the 4th job, but I work a lot. And it's because I am doing my best to pay off student loans, and it's not going incredibly well. Anyone that has them will let you know how bad it is. And I'm feeling really trapped in the situation I'm in. And I know that there are a lot of things that I can do to make it better, but I'm just doing things my way and seeing where it goes for now. And that means working 7 days a week. I've been working 7 days a week since December. And that includes holidays. And it's exhausting and it's not fun. And I've been losing a lot of myself within working so much because, yeah, I have two of my jobs. Two of my jobs are things that I'm really passionate about, and the other two are just sort of like I need money. And outside of that, I haven't had time for anything. And I'm bit by a squirrel. I'm bit by the stop taking life so seriously and just do something for fun for once. Squirrel. What are the odds of that happening? Truly. And so I'm holding my hand and I'm looking at my cut from the squirrel teeth. We dress the wound, we clean it out, we spray it with some stuff. It's okay, it's still so small, like it's really a nothing. If I were to have rabies, I would have it by now, so I guess we're fine. Squirrels don't carry rabies in New York. There's no known cases, as far as I could research, of squirrels giving people rabies, so we're all good. And then we continue our walk around Lilydale, the town. Now, I've been to Lilydale before, not extensively. I've been there once or twice, and it's usually a quick trip. And so I haven't really walked around and seen everything, right? And I'm looking around and we're chatting, and I turn to my right and I see a huge group of squirrels. And they're all standing at a squirrel shrine. A shrine dedicated to the squirrels of Lilydale, and there's a squirrel sculpture on it, and it has this whole thing, and the squirrels eat off of it, and I'm just like, what? Squirrels are not that significant anywhere else in the country, like what? And so I'm approaching the squirrel shrine so that I can read the inscription on the side. It had a little message, and I'm like, okay, that has to mean something too. And so I go to read it, and it says, "For the communion of kindred souls, dedicated to the memory of Teresa Chaplin and William Bass." Kindred souls. The squirrels there are like beautiful kindred souls. What? And I'm like, okay, I can be a kindred soul too. I can be super pumped about this too. And so I'm typing on my phone and I'm reading and I'm focused and I'm typing it down and I'm like, that's so weird. And I'm watching all the squirrels eat. And then I hear something at my feet. And I'm like, I swear to God, if this is a squirrel, I'm so fucked. I look down at the plot and a cat, a black cat, is looking up at me. Long enough that I could even get a picture. And after I take the picture, because I'm like, what is going on in this place? It just meows at me. And I'm like, I'm not about to be bit by no cat. I'm not about to be bit by another squirrel. I'm done. This is done. I've got the point, Spirit. I understand what you want me to do. I'm doing it right now. That's it. I'm done. And so we go to this store. And they're like, oh, that cat, that black cat out there, that's our good luck symbol here at Lilydale. Is that not a sign that you're doing the right thing and you're on the right path and you're exploring something different? I'm exploring the meaning of the squirrels, and then the good luck symbol is there, like you're doing it. This is what you should be doing. You should be enjoying your life. We're super pumped. You're getting the message. And to make things even weirder, in the store, we're walking around and there's little trinkets and little items that you can buy. Walking down an aisle, and I stop and I turn to my mom, who's to the right of me, and I turn and I'm like, oh, you know, did you find anything exciting? And she turns to look at me and she's like, oh yeah. And I'm looking over at her and I'm just sort of like, are you okay? Nothing else weird can happen on this trip, please. It's only been one afternoon. And she's like, look behind you. And I turn, well, I was facing this way, and I turn to look at what she's looking, and it's a squirrel. Who else has squirrel ornaments in their town. I've never seen a squirrel ornament like this before. I'm gonna get it, I have to show you. On this really weird squirrely trip, I managed to find this really one-of-a-kind bizarre item that is a fairy on a stick with a squirrel, and she's kissing the squirrel. And I'm gonna keep it close to my heart and just remember when my life gets really stressful and frustrating that I'm supposed to enjoy it, because I was bit by a squirrel as a reminder to enjoy it. That's the whole story. Expect more content from me now, because the squirrels told me to enjoy my life, and that's what I'm going to do. And I hope that you all stick around and watch as we explore what the squirrels wanted me to explore in Lilydale. Thanks for watching. I hope to see me in your future soon. Bye.